Welcome back to another video, guys. If this is your first time here, my name is Tu, and today's project is replacing the Atrac kill switch on a 4th gen 4Runner. So the thing about 4th gen 4Runner is that we don't have Atrac kill switch, so Atrac's on all the time. Atrac is Toyota's traction control, basically. I believe only the 2009 Limited had a kill switch, but everything else don't. So before, my kill switch was wired with a toggle switch, which is this right here, and then this is just a cheap on and off switch, and the switch went bad probably like a couple months ago, so I had to bypass it. So when it went bad, I can be, just like on the rocky road, and it was lose connection inside, and when it lose connection inside, it kills the Atrac. So when I need Atrac to be on, it doesn't work. So I had to bypass this, basically take the wires back out of the pins and then just connect them together. And then how this kill switch system work is you tap into the brake. This is the level sensor, so you tap into, there's only 2 wire, and before I tap into this green one, it doesn't matter which one. So how this system works is that if it loses connection on either one of these 2 wire, if it loses connection, it'll trigger a brake fluid level sensor code, and then it turns Atrac off. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut this wire again, and then basically you cut it, you run both of them into the switch, and then when you turn the switch off, then it breaks this connection and it triggers the code. So that's how that works. And what I'm trying today, instead of using this regular toggle switch, is that I'm using this momentary off switch. So I already have it into one of these plugs. This is right here. It was part of the dash, and it's going to be just like that. So like I said, this is a momentary off switch, so without touching it, it'll be on, and then once you hit this button, it'll break the connection, it'll trigger the code. And how to reset it on these, once the code is there, Atrac is off, and you want Atrac to be on, you turn the ignition switch off. So you turn the ignition switch off and you turn it back on. Basically, you shut the car off and you restart it, and then it'll reset the code, and then Atrac starts working again. A lot of terrain, you want Atrac to be on, but there's certain scenarios like if you're like in a snow or deep sand and stuff like that, sometimes if you want to keep the wheel speed up, you got to turn Atrac off, because that's what Atrac does, is it kills your wheel speed. Kills it by braking, applying brakes to the tires. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And the reason why I'm doing this, originally I was just gonna say screw it, just leave Atrac on all the time, but I blew the rear differential on my runner last weekend. So, and actually, yeah, so what happened was the front CV axle, the driver's side snapped, like completely snapped, and when that happened, it sent all the power to the rear, and that's what happened. It shredded the gear. So for a couple months now, I have a rear e-locker out of a 2nd gen Tacoma. So the second gen Tacoma, the rear axle bent, or the housing bent, and so we replaced the axle assembly for the customer, and there was a $100 core charge on the old axle. So instead of sending it back to, I don't know who they got it from, probably LKQ or something, instead of sending it back, I paid the shop the core charge, and I kept the axle. I just need it for the rear e-locker. So the thing about the locker is the The third gen, they tend to be the third gen 4Runner. They tend to be 430 gears, but the second gen Tacoma, they can be 373. I think it was 410 and 430. Those higher gears, I might be wrong on, but the one I got was 373. So 373 gear is factory on 4RUNNER, or the 4th gen V8s, they're factory gears. And yeah, I didn't have to modify much. Just had to modify the housing just a little bit, and then I got the retrofit the e-locker into 4RUNNER. That video will be coming soon. I did not video me, trimming the housing and stuff for it to fit, but right now I'm waiting for the wire harness to come in. Yeah, so let's get on with it. Yeah, so like I said, it was wired before, so I'm just gonna instead of reusing the old wires, these are pretty thick gauge, I'm gonna go with these instead, and I'm just gonna wire electrical tape these two together and just pull it through. And I'm just going to spray a little bit of silicone spray on the wires just to help it slide through the firewalled grommet. And just so you guys can see it better, I'm going to do it out here in the engine bay. But I'll pull the wires all the way through. And right here, this is the wire that is on the other side of the firewall. So I'm just going to cut it right here. Split these two wires. And this is heat shrink. Here we go. And then I'm gonna pull the insulation off the end. Just like that. And then this is the momentary switch. Even though this is the screw style, some people will be tempted to just run the here we go. Just put the wires like this and screw it down, but that's a bad connection. Especially what I do, with all the bouncing and stuff, this wire can pull out. So I'm gonna put a ring terminal on it. Alright, so this is the ring terminal. Originally, these are insulated ring terminals, but I don't like the insulation because they're really thick. So I'll just cut them off. And from here, let's see. He's got a small space to work in. I will slide this heat shrink on. Just like so. Put this ring terminal on there. Take my crimper. Just like that, and I'll crimp it. And then heat shrink just gonna slide over. So do the same thing for the other side. And then this bottom one, heat shrink, I just took it up there pretty, as tight as I can within reasons. That will keep the wire from splitting any farther. So everyday life, being a mechanic, I like using this Milwaukee battery powered heat gun. Just like that, and it's ready. So I'm gonna grab a screwdriver and pop these in. It's gonna be really easy to loose these screws. Freaking tiny. Alright, so I'm putting this piece back on. It's pretty simple. There's not much to it. Just gotta put the hood lash and stuff. Well, not hood lash. Well, yeah, the hood lash and the gas cap release. Let's pop those back on. And then there's just and then there's just 2 screws or bolts that holds this piece down. Alright, so I'll pull the slacked out. I left a little bit in the under the dash, but most of it is pulled out. So roughly I'm gonna cut it about right here, just like so, and open this up. And just like before, put a heat shrink right here. Strip this open. And then down here, I'm gonna cut it. Since I already repaired this, I'm gonna cut this one, the white side, the white and black side. And I'm gonna snip a little extra off. Wire's too small for this one. Yeah, so this wire stripper is snap-on, but it doesn't, the stripping, it can't go, the wire that it can strip is not as small as the Cornwell one. This one's from Cornwell. Just like so. Twist these wires. Alright, so at this point, you can, this is how you're going to connect it. You know, one side goes here, the other side goes up there. And at this point, you can solder it, you can butt connect it, whatever you prefer. Me personally, I like using the non-insulated butt connectors. but you know, do whatever you want. Everybody got their own taste. It's hard to do all this with the camera right in front of my face. No pressure, I guess, right? So put a heat shrink on there, heat shrink on here. Pull this wire down there. And like I said, it doesn't matter which wire goes which. So just take one, put it on one of the other wire. Just like so. Take this one and put it on the other wire. Just like so. Give it a little tug. And the connection is good. Move the heat shrink over. Just like that. And then hit it with the heat gun. Just like so, and then I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Hello?
Hi, Faye.
What's up?
How far along are you?
Pretty far along. I'm filming too.
What'd you say?
I'm filming too. I'm pretty far along.
Oh, are you almost done?
Somewhat. Alright, so I got that connected. I'm just going to take a little piece of wire loom protector, feed it on. And before I push it all the way down, I just put a little bit of electrical tape at the end to keep the wire loom closed. Just like so, and then push it down the wire. And then just cut the access off and cut it bolt right here. It could be prettier, but it's good enough. And the wire is protected all the way to the firewall. Alright, so that's basically it. It's time to test it. So I'm gonna close the hood. Inside the vehicle. Let's see, where's my key? Here we go. Start it up.
Show my starts recording.
Alright, and then the switch is right here. Once I hit it, all the brake lights and stuff should come on. There we go. Atrac is off. Now when you see all these lights on and the e-brake light right there. Atrac is off. To reset it, you just turn the car off, turn it back on.
It is about to turn off.
There we go. And then turn it off again. Just hit the switch for a sec, let go. Yeah, pretty simple. That way I don't have
Low
the,
battery. It is about to turn off.
that's my dash cam. But yeah, that's it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I guess I had to do a little bit of laundry. All this, the pillow and stuff that stays in the tent. So I got to open the tent and put them up. Took them out the last time me and Miles went camping. Took them out to wash them and stuff. So let's get on to that. All right, well, that's it. Opening the tent is a lot easier than closing the tent because there's a lot of flap and stuff that you gotta, pack up in order to close the top or the cover. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next time.